Hey, this is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and today we are talking about credit because you know you can't be bad and bougie with bad credit. Hello, everybody. This is Miss Trina with Chat with Trina, and I am here with a special guest, Rose Credit Repair is the name of her company, but I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. But first, I want to thank you all for making the choice to click in to Chat with Trina. All right, Miss Rose, tell them your real government name.
Okay, my name is Rokisha Brisby.
Brisby?
Brisby with
Brisby,
a B.
okay. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Like the weather changing a little bit, getting a little cooler?
Yes, I'm so happy that it's getting cooler.
It feels so much better. Well, first, I just want to ask you, where are you from?
Well, I am from Houston, actually born and raised. I'm from the north side of Houston.
Yes. So let's say Eisenhower, Westfield, which one?
Oh, no, I went to Decaney.
Oh, okay, well, we're going to get right to it. I know that one of your businesses, which is the one that I know most about. Oh, and guys, I'm always talking about Miss Brittany Alex. She is the owner, founder of the Makings of B. She is just an awesome friend of mine, even though she's much younger than me, but she is an awesome friend. I just finished talking to her. And I met Miss Rose or Rokisha at her brunch, her vendor brunch. It is called the Gold Diggers Brunch that she has every year. It is very successful, and I have made so many awesome contacts through Brittany. That's how I ran into the Rose Credit Repair. So talk to us about, how did you get into doing the credit? How did that become an interest to you?
So I actually fixed my own credit 5 years ago. That's when I became interested and really obsessed with credit to figure out and learn everything. But I've been doing credit repair for 2 years now. Before I was doing credit, I was actually in real estate, and I just kept having different clients telling me about their credit problems. And I was just like, oh, well, I know how to fix credit. Like, I fix my own, I can fix yours. So I started with 2 ladies literally within the same week. You know, we spoke. I got started on their credit repair, and it's really just been that ever since. The first lady that I helped, she was able to purchase a home with an FHA loan with a 3.5 interest rate, and then she went and got a new car, all that. So I just felt so great about helping her in her accomplishments, and she was a veteran, and everything of that nature. That's really what made me continue to do credit repair, and was like, okay, well, I got something.
So when you were working on your credit, was your credit like bad? Is that what made you go ahead and?
I never honestly had bad credit, so to say. I really just had one thing on my credit, and I didn't have any positive credit built. So I literally just had one collection account. And it was specifically an eviction, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get this off. So that's how I figured out how to do it. But once I removed that and I started the process of building my scores, they went up very fast, because like I said, it wasn't really bad. It just had some minimal things that needed to be fixed.
Okay. With the real estate, did you continue to do real estate as well? Are you still doing that?
Well, I guess you can say I am, just in a different sense. At first I was doing wholesaling. Now I'm more into Airbnb and, looking forward to doing multifamilies from there.
Oh, yeah. I've been hearing a lot of people going into that business. Since you've been into the credit repair business, what are the ups and what are the challenges?
The biggest challenge to me is really 2 things. Just the whole disputing process, making sure that everything is consistently working. Obviously, every client, just like people are different, every credit report is different. Nobody's is the same. So just figuring out that process to make sure everybody gets the best results possible. That's one thing. And then just dealing with people's impatience with the process. And I tell everybody, just like it took time for you to get the account on your credit, it's going to take some time to remove it, but it takes 7 years for an account to fall off your credit report from the date it was closed. If you do credit repair, which takes about 3 to 6 months, what is 6 months to 7 years?
Right, exactly. What is the most rewarding thing?
The most rewarding thing is helping people. The client feedback that I've gotten, people that I've met, like Brittany, who, we met from Instagram, from me doing her, some credit repair, all that kind of great stuff. And, we just became friends throughout the process. But I've actually met with a lot of my clients. We've done other services together and worked together. And then also just like the testimonials, them just being appreciative of what I do and being able to, help all these people change their financial freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, when you have to deal with some of the challenges, that's what makes it all worth it. At the end, when like popping a bottle to get her house, that was like that. I really like that. That actually almost made me cry because I know how long she was doing this. So
yeah, and I was telling her, girl, when you close, I'm coming. We popping bottles.
What other services do you provide?
So I do credit repair. I also am a tax professional, and I'm also a notary. So those are really the three main services that I provide. I also recently started doing Airbnb, but of course, that's more kind of in a little different category.
But so are you helping sell them, or are you purchasing and renting them out?
I'm renting them out. So I host 3 Airbnbs right now.
Oh, are they local or?
Yeah, they're all local. They're all in Houston.
Okay. Also, okay, that's cool. So talk to us a little bit about how to start. If someone was to call you, what would be the first thing that you would tell a client for a what do you call it, consultation? What do you do with the consultation?
So that is the first thing I tell everybody. In order for us to get started, before I can do anything, I have to see your credit report. So we have to do a consultation. You give me your login if you have Experian or Credit Karma so that I can see exactly what's on there. A lot of times clients will say, oh, I only have a few accounts. And then I go on there and there may be something, maybe it's only a few that you're concerned about, but there may be others that are still affecting you, whether, you're not too worried about them or not, inquiries, things like that. So I need to see what's on your credit report before we can make anything happen. And I can give you a more direct time frame and all that.
What about, is it a cost for the consultation?
Yes. So the consultation is a $25 consultation fee, but that does go towards your services. So once you decide to sign up in that moment next week, based on your payday, then we will take that 25 off of your services.
Okay. Is that how you base the prices also on what's on that credit report and how much work you have to do? Is that how you base the
really it's just based on what someone is looking to do. I basically have a basic plan and then I have a more premium plan.
So big question, everybody in the school loans. So talk to us about that. Someone calls you and say, you know what? I got school loans on my credit report. Tell us, what do you tell them?
So student loans are honestly like the IRS. Either you're going to pay now or you're going to pay later, but you're definitely going to pay. That's something that's inevitable. And the way that they work, can they be removed from a credit report? Yes. But the only way that they can be removed if it is actually in collections. So that means your student loans have closed, you're going into default, and it's in collections. Then they can be removed off your credit report, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you still owe them. So they can still garnish your income tax and your wages. So whether it's on your credit report or not, unless it was forgiven or paid off, you still owe them that money and they're going to collect because they are the only thing on your credit that's really a government entity.
Gotcha. So when people say that they can remove student loans, they can technically, but that does not mean that
I've removed several student loans, but I didn't remove the debt that you owe.
Exactly. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. What about hospitals? Someone told me that now when they're looking at your credit reports, they don't look at hospital bills. Is that true?
So technically they don't, but it does still count against you because if that's all you have in collections, that's holding your score back. But the reason they don't look at hospital bills is because really in all actuality, hospital bills are very easy to remove because it is against the law. It's against HIPAA. It's a HIPAA violation to report your personal information regarding you going to a hospital, because whenever you just start disputing it, most of them will literally send a bill from the hospital that you went to. That's a violation of your HIPAA rights.
Wow.
Nobody should even see what or when you went to the hospital because that's nobody's business.
Wow. Okay. But when you said it still goes against your credit, let's just say
because it's still a collection account. It's still negative.
The department is still going to count against your score.
Yeah, it's still going to count against your score. Maybe when a lender is looking at it, they won't necessarily count it against you. But as far as the scoring systems that you see on Credit Karma, Experian, all that, that's going to go against you because it's still a negative account.
What is the most important thing if I'm a teenager graduating from high school, getting ready to go to college? What advice would you give them about their credit and financial freedom?
When it comes to credit, when you're young, learn it sooner than later. Be aware as soon as you turn 18, you can actually start the process of establishing positive credit. See if your parents can add you on one of their credit cards just to give you a score. The biggest thing I would suggest is start out with getting a secure credit card with whatever bank you're banking with. Get a bank account. Get a secure credit card, which minimally you have to put $200 on. Once you have that card, that's going to help you establish credit to where you can get other cards. I would suggest anybody having minimally 3 cards, one for emergencies, one for gas, one for, groceries, utilities, all that kind of great stuff. That way, if something does happen, you can use it, but you just don't want to abuse it and put yourself in a bind using up money you technically don't have. I have had quite a few clients, including Brittany, that have closed on their homes, new bills, all that. So when it comes to buying a house, minimally across the board, you need a 620 on all 3 credit bureaus. That's number one. You need a 620. And then also you need to have minimal to no collections. 1 or 2 isn't necessarily going to stop you from getting a home, but it may stop you from getting the best rate. So you want to have really no collections, a 620 or higher. And then on the financial side, you need to have at least $5,000 to $8,000 saved to pay for closing costs, inspections, everything that's going to come up with the actual home buying process.
Why do you think most people end up with bad credit?
Most people end up with bad credit because it's not something that everybody teaches. Other cultures are more adamant about teaching their children young what credit is, how it works. And then you have our culture that doesn't necessarily teach you that. You learn more by experience than by example. So that's the biggest problem. Nobody really knows that you need to pay your bills on time unless somebody tells you, or that you shouldn't just buy things you can't afford and then let it go into collections because of financing, or that you shouldn't spend every dollar you have. You should at least pay yourself something. You're supposed to pay yourself 10%, put that to the side for an emergency or just for you. So there's so many things that aren't taught that you have to end up learning later on in life. And that's how bad credit is created. By the lack of education.
Apartments. So I'm seeing that they're having this to where you can have your apartment credit put on your credit report.
Yes, you can. So there's 2 websites. You have Rental Karma and then Rent Reporters. Either one of those, whenever you move into, an apartment, you can sign up for one of those sites. They minimally start at about $60 a month. $40 to $60, it really just depends. And you can report your apartment history. And you can even backdate it. So if you sign up today and you've been living there for 3 years, they will contact the complex directly and confirm the time. So you've automatically given yourself 3 years of credit history.
Wow. Okay. Is it new? Because I hadn't heard about that until recently.
It's been going on at least for the past year and a half.
Thank you for coming on today. I don't know if there's anything else as far as credit you think that would be important for you to mention that I did not ask.
I think that the main thing is whether someone works with me, if you want to, you can contact me directly on Rose Credit Repair. That is my business page for Facebook and Instagram. But in order for you to really, reach your financial goals, purchase and make the things happen that you want to, whether it be buying your first home, a new car, starting a business, getting funding, whatever it is, you have to repair your credit. Even if it's not bad to where you don't have collections, you still need to build it. And the only way for you to do either of those things is to get direction. So whether you're purchasing the e-product, the ebook on how to do it yourself with repairing and building your credit, or if you sign up and have somebody do it for you, just make sure that you're being educated. I'm very big on educating my clients and my following about how credit works. I've made hundreds of videos about it. So that's the biggest thing. If you want to change your life, it starts with changing your credit.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, you said business credit, that rang a bell to me. business credit is separate from your personal credit. So you have two
Yes.
different socials. Like what is that?
So as far as that, your personal credit, you have a social, but as far as business credit, you either use your EIN number or a DUNS number. Either one of those are basically used as the social security number for your business. So for me personally, I purchased my Audi Q8. I have a 2019 Audi Q8 that I purchased under my business credit. So I've had it for about 5 months now, and it is not reporting on my personal credit at all. So I don't have to worry about, the debt of that car being added on what my current personal debt is to make my debt to income ratio too high. Okay. And then also it just allows me to be able to do other things because it doesn't look like I have a lot of debt because my car is over there. And then with starting a business, you can get business credit cards and use those to jumpstart the business. If you can't get a business loan, as long as you can get a business credit card and get some decent limits on it, you just use that to start your business. And then there are different vendor programs with business credit that you can actually use to purchase the items that you need for your business.
Could you explain to us real quick what debt to income ratio is?
So your debt to income ratio is, for example, things that are considered your debt is student loans, car loans, a mortgage loan, if you owe on your credit cards, and even collections. So if you owe $5,000 on a collection, that goes to your debt. So if you have $100,000 worth of debt, and then your income is only 40,000, 50,000, then you can't afford to purchase a home and add on to that 100 that you already have.
So just because you ain't paying for it don't mean it's not going to be counted.
No. So if you have a bunch of debts with collections, with having multiple car loans open, a lot of credit cards that are maxed out, that will stop you from being able to be financed on new things because you're already maxed out. So basically the way that your credit card works is if you have $1,000 limit, you need to be at 30% usage or less when your statement ends so that it doesn't drop your credit score. So 30% of 1,000 is $300. So you have your statement date, which is 4 to 5 days after your due date. You need to make sure that you pay that card down to $300 before that statement ends so that your scores don't drop. So if your scores have dropped because your cards have been used 100%, then all you need to do is make payments to bring that down. And every 30 days when it cycles out, it'll go back. With credit in general, it can be a fluctuation. It can be an up and down thing because sometimes different things that you do may cause a temporary drop. Like with the credit repair process, us going back and forth with the credit bureaus about the different accounts, the companies leaving remarks, it can cause your scores to drop temporarily just because it's that constant changing in your report. Gotcha. But really with your credit card, you want to just be sure that you leave a small balance on it, even if it's just $25, so it doesn't look like you're not using the card at all and it's just there. If you want to get in touch with me about getting credit repair, my do-it-yourself products, even business credit, you can contact me here on Facebook. You can send me a message on my name, Rokisha Brisby, or you can go on my business page, Rose Credit Repair. It's the same name on Instagram, and just send me a message, send me a DM, and we'll go from there.
Okay, that's great. And just, I want you mentioned at the brunch, the reason for passing this on to your community. And I would love for you just to touch on that as we close out, as you're closing, like why you do this for the community.
So, I mean, the reason I do this for the community, like I kind of said before, I feel like credit saved me and I'm just able to save people because I really took a chance on being an entrepreneur and doing this full time. This is all I do at this point. I don't do anything else. I just do credit repair and, my other means of service. But it really allowed me to do something that I truly love and to give back to the community. I've been able to help so many people just change their lives, not just for them, but their children. So it really just brings me joy to know that I'm really changing people's lives and, I enjoy what I do at the same time.
Awesome. And what did you do prior to this?
I worked as a pharmacy tech, actually.
Yeah. I think I remember your story about how you was like, I'm done. And I thought that was
Yeah, I literally, and I always say this, God told me to quit my job. I didn't really want to, even though I was unhappy. I cried about it. Like I was very unhappy with the situation, but it just stayed on my mind after I had that moment for like a month. And then I literally woke up, wrote my letter of resignation, gave it to them the next day. And I haven't looked back. That's been 3 years ago now.
wow. That is inspiring for several of us. My people tell my daughter, well, I asked her when I interviewed her, my daughter's 29 and she'll be 30 in 2 months. Oh my God. Anyway, I asked her on my show, what do you think? How do you feel when people say bad things about millennials and how they're putting bad things out there and how they're changing things? And she was like, you guys should thank us because we're showing y'all how to have multiple streams of income. We're showing y'all how to ask for what you want, step out and get your own. So
create your own reality. I have not conformed to society in any way. We have not accepted that I don't like this, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Exactly.
That's not even close to an option at this point. If I don't like this, if it's not making me happy and it's upsetting my life, I'm gonna do something totally different and be fulfilled in it and have the possibility to have multiple streams of income. COVID forced people to figure out ways to make money without relying on a job because it was scarce. Nobody really has job security anymore. The 40-40 plan is gone. So we have to do something else.
Yeah. So I thank y'all for showing us that it's another way.
And yes, it's multiple ways.
Well, guys, I want to say thank you to Rose again. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you again. Well, I'm going to see you again because I'll be contacting you. So, guys, make sure y'all contact Rose. She's on Facebook and Instagram. She has the cutest but most motivational flyers. I posted so many on my page because I was like, I like this one. I like that one. So, but y'all make sure that y'all go to youtube.com/chat with Trina. Thank y'all for making the choice to click in and chat with Trina. And Rose, thank you so much for what you're doing for us and our community. Thank you.
Have a great one.
Thank you again, Rose, for joining me today on Chat with Trina and sharing all of your knowledge about credit with me and my viewers. Guys, remember to contact Rose. You can find her at Rose Credit Repair on Instagram and Facebook. And her motto is, your credit won't fix itself. And her main focus is helping you reach your credit goals. And don't forget to hit subscribe and hit that little bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video.